Everyone
Okay.
say bye. And there's a blank frame. Anyway, how you doing, Laura?
I'm doing great.
Good, good, good. All right. So this guy was on Q&A last week, which was
Yep.
essentially I don't know. Did you watch this?
Uh, I can't quite see the name of the video because it's low res for me. But
Uh, Jamie Beaton, Why Education Needs Competition Pressure. That's what it's called.
no, I haven't seen this video.
Yeah, essentially he comes in with his it's essentially like the neo-lib version of schooling. Essentially, essentially his entire proposition is we need to be catering schooling to getting more entrepreneurs and stuff like that. And startups is something he specifically mentions. He's like, we need more startups like America, stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, because 90% of fucking startups fail. That's exactly what we want.
Yeah, I don't
And-
think we want to be encouraging kids to go down the avenue.
Mm.
Ah, there you go.
What?
My brain's already in money
Oh,
mode.
God.
Revenue.
You did NCAA, didn't you?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I was homeschooled.
Oh, what?
I never did NCA. I actually got my education as an adult.
You ruined my joke. You should have said yes.
Nah, I dodged NCA.
You lucky bastard. Yeah. Yeah, no, it was it's been a discussion for the last week or so, which is, my history with NCAA is a bit of a sort of mixed experience, I suppose. I definitely see its benefits, and I'm one of those people that definitely sees its downside, but I am in the camp of don't really throw the baby out with the bathwater, because I don't think it's necessarily the most effective way to go. This guy was talking about alternative strategy. I'm not sure if it was just like a coincidence that it came out the same day, because they didn't really seem to talk specifically about NCA, I don't think, at all. But he sort of went into his own ideas, and I just want to touch on this one little thing he said that I thought was just amusing. I hope I've got
Sure.
the right time code.
In all the schools in the country, it's rigorous, it's world class. Why, as a small country, do we have to make our own curriculum? It's kind of a crazy endeavor. We can have our own history curriculum, great. Our own Te Reo Māori, absolutely. But do we need to have our own math curriculum when there's global standards we need to hit? I don't think so.
So if you're to think about all the different students going through the New Zealand schooling system, obviously there are significant different disparities, economic disparities,
Totally.
other forms of disparities that distinguish students. Who would a more standardised testing regime benefit?
Short answer is everybody, because teachers can actually, have clear benchmarks for learner ability across their schools. They know where different students are at. Universities can actually assess students analytically. They can have, different entry programs for different qualities of students, and they can actually see what level people are coming in. Let me give you a good example. In the US during COVID, they abandoned the SAT, the standardized test that are used for admissions to all these US universities. And many of
I think whoever said it in the chat was right. Is when I play a video, it just turns my mic right down for some reason. I don't know why. It's weird. But actually, this wasn't the bit I was actually wanting. But it is he's about to go into SATs, which is actually, now that I think about it, this is a bit of an interesting point of conversation. So, because people have been talking about gaming the system and stuff, right, with NCAA, which is kind of partly the benefit. I wouldn't even call it gaming the system. It just is the system. Once you get enough points, you don't need to be stressed out about passing a test, and some people choose to just not attend. I mean, there's some simple workarounds you could do just to at least put a band-aid on that, like you going in and not attending a test or not filling out a test or something could result in some kind of negative points score. I don't know, maybe there are definitely ways to fix that issue just on itself, but the what are they called again? SATs. Well, the SATs.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm not entirely familiar with how the NCA system works because I didn't go through it. But is it overall points? Like, okay, if you study all of these subjects, you get. So instead of doing overall points for across different subjects, why not just have points that are specific to mathematics, points specific to English, points specific to.
Yeah, exactly. And because another thing is, I think it's not necessarily just one thing, you going in and skipping a test, but sometimes there's the optics to look at when you're applying for courses and stuff in tertiary education. You might go to apply for a course or something that's on a subject that you just chose to poo-poo the exam at, and someone's going to be like, well, you got like a fucking 0 on this exam, what's up? And you're like, oh, well, just I didn't try because I already had the points. That might not look good, so there's still incentives to at least try, even though you might not have the points. Just an example. Anyway, he goes and talking about the SATs, and I think he makes a claim that I didn't actually look into, that they canceled the SATs, and then I think Harvard and stuff were saying no, they were the best system was the SATs. In fact, let's just listen to what he says.
If the ideology, was this is a good idea because, SAT is bad for equity, what happened is actually universities began to admit students who couldn't do the academics. And schools like Dartmouth University, an Ivy League school, came out and said, the single best predictor of first-year academic success is performance in the SAT. So even though people don't...
There you go. Yeah. So I don't actually know about that claim, how legit that is. But what I do know about SATs and people who talk about tutoring people for university in the States, specifically the SATs, it's all about... It becomes about, and this is always an issue with like standardized testing, is it becomes about training them to pass the SAT and not actually training them in the whatever curriculum or subjects that it is that they actually need to know about. In fact, it encourages gaming the system more, from my understanding, and that's something...
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if we need... I mean, yeah, standardised testing is helpful, but a lot of universities here in New Zealand already do entrance exams.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was studying mathematics at Massey University, right? I had to do a test to see where I was at in terms of my capabilities to put me into the right class.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is probably a better way to approach this. If we can have like a universal model, it's like, okay, you do a test. You don't fail the test. What the test shows is whether or not you're ready for higher learning and whether or not you need to be put into a class which is more accommodating to your current level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and something else I noticed when I was going to university, a lot of the subjects I started on, I was like, you go into the 101 class, and I was like,
yep,
I already know this. Like, I already know most of this. Like, yeah, and there's some people there who probably don't know, but I'm sitting there just going, like, yeah, I already know this, and I sort of check out. Like, that was probably half my first year of uni, was just checking out of a lot of subjects. And then I did notice, I think I took a maths class, and it was just like the biggest jump I've ever seen from like 101 to 102. So, I mean...
Yeah, I came across that big jump too, which is part of the reason why I stepped back from higher education, because it's like, okay, I need to do more homework. Like, Algebra 1 and Algebra 2, that's fine. I get that. Calculus? Oh, shit. Gotta go back.
I did level 3 calculus, NCA level 3 calculus. That was fucking tough. Yeah. Do not look back on that with fond memories. Don't think I remember any of it. Don't think it ever came in handy. So...
I need it, though, if I want to do my econ degree, so I've got to work on it.
And apparently it's so important for the economy.
Yes.
Yeah. Like,
being able to make a model, yeah.
I mean, I work in IT, and I don't need fucking maths for shit. Just make it up. Just ask ChatGPT these days. Do the maths for me.
Oh, shit. Make an economic model for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Make me an economic model.
I swear to God, that's what the ACT Party is doing.
I was gonna make that joke. It's right for the taking. Right for the taking. Anyway, let's hope I've landed on the clip here.
System structure is a requirement to make you get your homework done, prepare for exams. It teaches you discipline and rigor. As a young entrepreneur, the experience that I had managing all the stress for our business was managing my extracurriculars, my academics, trying to do all these different subjects in high school. And that actually teaches you valuable skills that makes you a high-performing adult. So if you have an education system that's super chill and relaxed, you create these young adults that can't actually function in the workplace.
Okay,
and,
we're going to stop right there. He's wrong. We can look at countries like Denmark, Norway, Finland, a lot of the Scandinavian countries where they have a much more relaxed approach to education. Their kids are doing really good.
Yeah.
You can't learn when you're fucking stressed out.
Yes.
You cannot do it. And I'm saying that as someone who has ADHD, and dyslexia and dyscalculia. You can't learn anything when you're in a state of heightened anxiety.
Yes, absolutely. Like, and that's what he's trying to sell here. Because I still didn't land on the exact clip, but at some point he goes like, and what are these students doing when they're not in school? They're lazing about, they're watching TV, and I'm like, what do you mean? They're being fucking kids? They're being kids, not being stressed out, studying all the time for their fucking exams. They're having a good time. And
You need that period of relaxation as well for your mind to kind of like clear all the anxiety out and all that stuff out, and so you can reflect better on what you've learned for the day, and actually gives you space to think about things. Like you go outside and you observe things. You go, oh, I remember that from class. Now it makes sense. I'm seeing a practical example of it. And that's beyond the whiteboard. It's like when I was being homeschooled by my mother. She has a background of teaching disabled children how to read, and teaching them basic maths, and she took those skills and she taught me, right? And that was exactly how she taught me, was in a much more relaxed environment, me going out and playing games, doing like treasure maps and whatnot, trying to find all the objects so I can get the prize at the end of it. That's the sort of stuff that motivates kids to learn because it's a practical application. This idea of stressing kids in the classroom, that's not fun. And you're not going to remember things that aren't fun. Like you just said before, I don't want to go back to calculus. I don't want to think about that. Yeah, because it sucked, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you don't want to keep that around.
Yeah, no, that's what this guy's selling. But like I tell you, and this is from my personal experience, so as a now 30-year-old, most of my useful knowledge and what I know, like, it's all self-taught. Like, it's stuff I've found myself. I figured out myself. Like I work in IT. Didn't take. I think I took one coding course, and it wasn't even really a coding course. It was creative coding. It was an art course. Yeah. Like I have no professional training in IT. Everything I did was self-taught. Just because I was interested in it. It was stuff I was passionate about. I did in my free time.
And that's where the discipline comes in. Is when you're motivated to self-teach yourself. Yep. That was one of the biggest lessons my mother taught me when she was homeschooling me, was how to teach myself. How to go to the library and find something that's interesting, take notes and reflect upon what I'm reading. Yeah. That's a better way to teach kids, and that's how they do it in places like Kohanga Reo and stuff like that. There is a way to teach kids to self-learn, to learn how to observe the world around them and to pick up skills. So teaching kids how to learn. And that's actually one of the things they teach at Te Wānanga, is teaching adults how to learn. It's actually one of the key courses they offer.
Yeah. Anyway, this guy's shit sinks. I'm not buying what he's selling. It's and still that solution still might not work for everyone. Again, you'd still offer the opportunity for people to just learn from a teacher or a lecturer or something like that, if they want to, because some people want that. Some people like just sit down, listen, and absorb information like a sponge. I don't, because I'm like ADHD as shit, so I'll like be trying to. Sometimes, have you ever had the moment where you're sitting there trying to focus and someone's explaining something to you, and all you're thinking about is, I need to focus. Make sure you're focusing. You need to focus on what they're saying right now. And then you come out of this trance of you trying to be like, focus. And they go, you understand? And you're like,
no.
I missed everything you said. I was too busy trying to focus.
It's because you were overstimulated. You were trying to take in all that information that the back of your brain was telling you to focus, and you got distracted by that. So this is why it's important to recognize all the different individual learning styles of kids and adults alike. Some people do better with explanation verbally, and then having a written note or an explanatory note. And that's how I learn. I listen first, and then I read up on the subject, and then I apply it practically. So it sticks in my brain.
Anyway, that's last week's news. And I think we might wrap it up there. Thank you so much for joining tonight, guys. Thank you, Laura, for joining in. It has been, I believe it's a record viewership for us tonight.
Fantastic.
23 watching live. I'm not sure about our first one, but like I'm pretty sure this is a record viewership. So thank you, everyone, for attending. Where's the camera? There it is. I'm waving.
And for those at home, if you're really interested in looking at local body coverage of elections, I'm actually hosting a Māori ward debate down in Featherston tomorrow. So please check out the channel. It's in the ballot. Sorry, I'm just plugging in my channel.
No, plug.
But if you want transparency around local body elections and who's running, feel free to check us out.
And keep your eyes peeled on It's in the Ballot, because someone might be appearing on there in the coming weeks.
Woo.
You never know. Yeah, I might be co-hosting with someone else who's currently on the show. You never know. We'll see. Let's figure out that one. All right. Cheers for joining, guys. Ka kite.
Ka kite, guys.
Bye-bye.
Tofa, goodbye. See you later. It's time to say goodbye. See you later. I've really got to fly. So see you later. It's time for us to end. See you later. I'll be back again. Ka kite, see you later. I hope you've had some fun. In Ohora, I'm leaving. I've really got to run. So see you later. It's time for us to end. See you later. I'll be back again. So long. See ya. In Nohora. Goodbye, my friend.